Gary, Tim Bell, how much of a valuable asset is he? Because you've said that he compiles the latest league table, but he's got a lot of roles, hasn't he, here? And he's a young lad, ambitious lad. What's he been like to work with?
He'd be asking for a new contract, I'll go too, man. But listen, credit where credit's due. Russell told me about him, recommended him, said, meet him, and I met him, and he was young, enthusiastic, knew the role that we wanted him to do. So he was a great member of staff to do all the stuff that takes a lot of time, dissecting games and working out our percentage of and the opposition's percentage of passing and the percentages of goals on target, and some real good information. He also sends all the boys their individual games and their individual information. So he does, I've said it before, what 10 people do at other clubs, and he has been vital to our success in the conference, and hopefully successful season where we consolidate at this level. But the information, as long as we're good enough to use it, and we do, and don't let him do the work and not even look at it, we all really scrutinise the stats as a group and as individuals. So it's massive for us. So he does a great job.
Yeah. Like you said earlier, there's still work to be done this season. But when do you actually start planning in earnest for next season, or is it already started? Thinking about who you want to sign. Who you want to keep?
I mean, of course, it's already started in your mind. You can do it too early and muck up your season because for lots of reasons. I won't go into the reasons, but there's lots of reasons in my experience that if you start talking to players too early, it doesn't help. We got to know what's happening next year. These lads are getting paid to do their very best for this season. That's what we want them to do, and as soon as the time's right, I'll be talking to individuals about their futures.
Yeah, and something that hasn't been mentioned for a while, but Paul Baker has mentioned it a few times, is your contract, and I think everyone is hoping that it's sorted out soon. But is it close?
After 3 wins.
Yeah, good time to ask you about it.
People weren't saying that after Stevenage. No, listen, that's a manager's flight, isn't it? It's I'm still on contract till the end of the season anyway. And again, the same as my own situation. I'm not going to chase them up. There has been, things dropped in and etc. So we might have. I've had a couple of lunches with Chairman and David Bloxham, and listen, I'm very happy here, and I think they're happy with me being here at the moment. So we'll just let the contract take its course if and when it arises.
Yeah, the last one, Gary. How long do you see yourself being at Cheltenham?
I'll be negotiating too early, I tell you. Listen, at this moment in time, I've got no thoughts about anything else. I've enjoyed the backing of the board. I've enjoyed Russell Milton, Bookie, Tim, all my staff, Gavin, Ian, Hutton. We got a good staff and a very close staff. James Murphy. So I appreciate the people that are around me, and that gives you a quality of life. And obviously Pete, my brother, and we know that we're able to get players here. The training ground's better. The groundsmen are doing their jobs, as much as best they can. Certainly here at the training ground, which is what I wanted when I first came, because this was a fantastic place, but a disgrace as far as the actual condition was concerned. So, everything's here for quality of life, and at my age, that's what you're after now.
Yeah. Johnson, you've had 3 wins in a row now. How would you carry that into your next run of games? How can you carry that momentum?
Yeah, well, it is momentum. That is it, really. So you have to decide whether you rest somebody and give them a rest and use someone else who's raring to go, or do you keep the continuity of the team? That's always a manager's dilemma. So we'll have to, wait and see what I pick for Saturday. But yeah, you're right. It's just that momentum that you have to keep going, and when the credit sets in, because you're in credit with 3 wins, the confidence then comes. and that's it really. It's the confidence of being able to retain the ball, find the right ball at the right time. That's why that goal the other night was so vital to us, because we played so well. We didn't deserve to come out with only 1 point, and you know, I would have done anything. I'd have gone on myself and, you know, done a diving header or something because I so wanted that goal to make sure that we got the 3 points for a great performance, and we'll take that into the next game hopefully.
And part of your run of form has been the clean sheets and the improved defending.
Yeah.
Is that something you've been working on in training?
Yeah, we've got a centre half in Aaron Downs, who's still a player. He's obviously at the age where you start thinking about sort of coaching now as well. We've done a lot of work with the back four, and then Aaron's done a lot of work with them recently on the shape, their own individual performances and that, and that's worked very well. It's worked very well. Now, you know, you don't let in a goal, but it's not always that the opposition don't have chances. You know what I mean? So there's always, you never have shutouts all the time, because it don't work like that. You know, it just doesn't happen. But when you do get them, you generally win games. So we're pleased with the performances of the boys at the back and the goalkeeper, because they, you know, 3 clean sheets on the trot is very good.
Yeah, Mansfield are on their very own impressive run. How challenging is it going to be this Saturday?
Very challenging. They're all challenging. They're as challenging as you want to make it. Carlisle should have been challenging, but you know, I think that was a 2-0, 3-0 win for us normally, but we only got the 1. And Mansfield will come. Steve Evans would have looked at our last couple of games. His team will compete, so you have to compete and then hope that the ball falls for you at a certain time and that your team perform on the day under our stadium conditions at the moment. You know, people can moan about it, but both teams have to deal with it, sort of thing. You know, so that's what we got to do.
One more from me, just on the whole pitch.
You're in his son, are you? Related to him.
On the pitch, Carl left a bit unhappy with conditions earlier in the week. Do you have any responses to sort of their moaning about it?
No, not really. I always quite like it when he said that before the game as well, when the manager has an excuse before the game. But I like Carl, and we've had many a game against each other that was quite hotly contested. You know, I remember he was Neil Warnock's assistant when I was at Bristol City, and we beat him in the semi-final for the final of was the championship. Championship, yeah, that's right. Oh no, Premiership. When we got to the where am I? I'm still in Cheltenham in my head. We played them, and it was for a place in the Premiership. It was a semi-final, and we won the leg away, which was quite angry on the line, and then we won after extra time at home. So we got to the playoff final for the Premiership against Hull. We lost 1-0, unfortunately. So we got history, but we both respect each other's situations. He's a good manager, and he's got a good set of players there. He's built up a club from sort of nowhere, really. And I think they'll recover and probably get promoted. So, you know, it's a respect, really. You know, it's like boxers, isn't it? You know, before the fight, everyone's sort of like saying what they have to say, and then after the fight, they're having a little cuddle. Where in this case, you know, it wasn't a cuddle as such, but it was a realisation that actually the opposition had done a bit better than themselves on the day.